going on, and crew? My name is Andrew. Welcome back to a brand new exciting video. So the other day I saw a video from Sam Kolder. It was talking about a Mavic Air, and in this video he didn't do a ton of transitions, but there was one embedded throughout the video. It was very subtle, very minimal, but it was a really cool transition. I saw people talking about it in the comment section, so I thought I'd go ahead and give you guys a tutorial on how to do this effect. So here's the clip of the transition that Sam Kolder actually made. I'll play it for you guys now.
This is a behind the scenes look into the DJI MAVIC Air.
So as you guys can see, it's a super cool transition, and it's subtle. It's a subtle transition, but I think that actually works towards its advantage, and I went ahead and tried to recreate this effect. The first thing you're obviously going to want to do is open up Premiere, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a new project. We'll just call it Sam Kolder Tranny, and I'll save this to my desktop, hit OK, and then I'm going to go ahead and import my two clips we're going to be transitioning in between. I'll select them, hit open, and they'll import into Premiere. So the next thing we're going to do is drag these into our timeline to make a new sequence, just like that, and then go ahead and cut down your two clips to the length that you want them to be. Ugh, I was arching my back way too much. Alright, so I didn't explain this earlier, so I'll go ahead and do it now. It's really important to film when you're filming, to film with this transition in mind. When you're actually out there getting some clips, make sure you're thinking about this transition, because if you don't, it's going to make it really difficult to do later on. Now, I don't know Sam Kolder personally. I don't know if he was thinking about this effect when he was filming, but I can assure you that if you film with this effect in mind, it will greatly minimize the amount of work that you have to do in post. If you don't film with it in mind, it's going to be a huge pain. The best clips for this transition is you want to have like a circle of leaves. If you look right in the middle, you can kind of see that circle of leaves. That's not accidental. I was looking for that when I was out filming. Now, ideally, you're going to film this with a drone like Sam Kolder did, but I don't actually own a drone, so I just used a gimbal, my camera on a gimbal, and then I walked towards it, and then I pushed the camera through these leaves. Now, the other thing you want to keep in mind to minimize the amount of work you have to do in post is the fact that you're going to be keying out the background. So I filmed this effect knowing that I was going to have to key out the background, so I purposely filmed it against the sky, and I purposely overexposed the sky a little bit. That way it would be easier for After Effects to recognize the background from the foreground. So those are the two things you really need to worry about. The second clip doesn't matter as much. It's nice though if you can have a clip that starts off on the sky. I think that'll make the transition look smoother, and that is what Sam Kolder did as well. If you look at his transition, it goes from sky to sky. I'm going to hit 9 on my keyboard to replace with After Effects Composition, but if you don't have that keybind, then just right click and hit replace with After Effects Composition. Let's hop into After Effects. Now, the first thing I personally have to do with these specific clips is scale them up. So I'm going to keyframe scale at the beginning, and I'm going to keyframe position at the beginning. Then I'm going to go all the way to the end of this clip, and I'm going to change the scale from 960 by 540 to 960 by 866, just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is change the scale. So I keyframe scale at the beginning, I go to end, hit S in the keyboard, and I'm going to change this to 217. Now, it is super important to understand that this is specific towards my clips. Think of this tutorial more as a guideline, less of a tutorial. You can't just copy and paste my calculations or my keyframes, because they're not going to work the same way with your specific clips. That being said, you might not actually have to scale up your clip. I had to scale it up simply because I had these trees in the background that I wasn't going to be able to key out. So I had to scale up my clip to get rid of those trees, but you might not have to do that. So once again, this is a guideline, not a tutorial. The next thing I'm going to do is go over and add the Luma key effect. Go up to your effects controls panel, change this from key out darker to key out brighter, and then you're going to go to about 0.4 seconds into the clip and keyframe the threshold at 255 and keyframe the edge thin at 0. Then we're going to go almost to the end of this first clip, and we're going to change the threshold to 180, and then we're going to go about halfway back into the middle, and we're going to keyframe edge thin to 3. The next effect we're going to add is something called a key cleaner. Go up to effects and presets, key cleaner, drag that onto your clip. Now we're going to go back to about 0.4 seconds into the clip, and we're going to keyframe this strength to 0%. Then we're going to go about halfway, and we're going to keyframe the strength at 100%. And that's pretty much it. We're just going to select this clip and drag it underneath, and let's RAM preview it and see what it looks like. Perfect. That looked Perfect. There we go. That's exactly what I was going for. As you can see, we've got that nice clean key from these leaves. Nothing, there's no chatter, no noise really at all. It gets a little soft on the edges, but I think that's fine for now. I'm actually really pleased with this. Obviously, these clips are not the prettiest ever. They're certainly not the luxurious locations that Sam Kolder shoots in. To be frank with you guys, I didn't put a lot of thought into these clips at all. I just filmed them really quickly. So it's nowhere near as good as Sam Kolder's, but I think the effect is very similar to how he achieved his transition in his video. If you guys are new to the And Crew is a place for editors, photographers, videographers, future YouTubers, aspiring filmmakers, and just people like that. So if you think you fit into any of those categories, be sure to join the And Crew, subscribe, and join this amazing community. If you guys have any tutorials you'd like to see in the future, or any just general video requests, comment them down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.